What is happening, everyone? So in the last video you see me, well, if you watched it, you see me build one of the rear pull-out drawer things. I did want to build the other one by now, but I still haven't ordered the sliders for it. So this video, like I said when I did the ceiling, obviously I haven't finished it off by here, so I wanna do them panels either side, but there's one thing from stopping me from doing this side yet. Or, well, it's not stopping me, but I'd rather do this first. So if you imagine the bed is by here, and then obviously this is your worktop. Well, I want something to separate the worktop and the bed, just in case you got like a cup of tea or pot noodle or whatever on you and you happen to spill it over, and it's gonna go all the way over your mattress. So don't want that happening, and I haven't decided what kind of blackout things I'm having on the windows yet. So just in case whatever I put on there doesn't fully black it out and you get some peeper.
There's gotta be a way in here. I gotta get.
Trying to have a look in. Then I wanted to have this end blocked off, so in my eyes the pillows would be that end on the bed. So what I'm going to build by here is like a barrier wall, and then incorporate into it I can have like two cutouts, so then there's like two shelves within it that then you can put your mobile in where once you go to sleep. So obviously it's got to have a front and a back. This side is not too bad because it's going to go up against these sill covers that I've made. It's got a curve along the ceiling. This is dead flat, but then the other end, what I was in two minds about is how far out do I bring it? Do I bring it in line with that there? But this, I don't know whether you can see it by here, but in the Trafics and Bavaras, I have no idea why they're there, but there's holes in where you can see it over there. There's two big holes.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
If I can make the rear wall of this shelf cover that, then that would make me happy, because then I don't have two ugly holes there or have to try and figure out how to blank them off. But I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment. If you remember in the video where I made this and the trouble I had getting it to sit around this panel, well, this is going to be exactly the same, only vertical, to try and get it to sit around all this. I'm not looking forward to that, but there we are. That's the plan for today. Let's get on with it. So the first thing to do, I think, is I'll do this side board first, and so I'll measure it. 64.7. So write that down. And then no, and then I shall measure 51.2. I'll probably cut it a little bit longer than that because to account for that curve. Right, well it fits by there, but don't go no further because that's where it starts curving. So what I will do now is I think probably measure from the lowest part of the ceiling and apply that to that board then. It's only 1.7 centimeters difference. So I think if I draw a line from that corner to where I've marked there, So if we cut that out now, we gotta do that on a bandsaw. My cutting wasn't the best there. I will be honest with that. Although, how is that? How is that not fitting in if I flipping measured it? The measurements weren't quite spot on. Where I measured it and where I actually marked it out were in two different places. So I'm just trial and error, placing it in the van and seeing what's rubbing on the ceiling and marking it out on the wood and just... I measured it properly this time by working it out from where I measured it wrong in the first place. Just give it a sand on the end there because the blade struggled to get a nice cut where it went so thin. So hopefully that should now fit. You watch it don't fit now. Well, we're on the right track, but I gotta notch it out for the roof pillar now. So I've cut the notch out of the top so it doesn't foul on the van pillar. And then what I did then, because obviously it's still not fitting because there's a curvature in the panel that I made there. So I measured how much this end is sticking out from the edge of the worktop. Applied that there then. So that's how much I need to cut out of the top. And I've just drawn a straight line down, but obviously it's not going to be a straight line because that panel is curved. So I think I'm just going to wing it now and draw a curved line next to that one and see what happens. I'm not skilled enough to do the old scribing and stuff yet, so and I can't be asked doing a tape template because for some reason it never works. So I'm just gonna do that now and then probably make it a little bit bigger than what it needs to be and just see how close we get to it. Carpenters are going, oh, why are you doing it like that for? You just need to do it like this and you just do it once. But yeah, well, I'm not skilled in that area. So this is my process. Takes 10 times as long, but we get there in the end. Right, let's see how good my winging it cut was. Apologies if it's too dark on the camera, but I haven't got a light yet. Oh, she's close. It's actually fouling on the ceiling again. Right, well we got about 3mm difference. I have cut it a little bit too much by there, but obviously it's still got to go in 3mm. So that'll close our gap up a teeny bit, but it's hitting by here. So I'll shave that bit down, and I'll shave a bit off the top as well, because it is rubbing on it.
A few moments later.
I'm fairly confident in this now, so hopefully this should be the final time. It hasn't taken too long actually. Oh yeah boy! It's not overly tight on anything there, and right in line with the edge of the worktop. I think the next step is to do a top and a bottom to it so that there's parts to tie it together. I've jumped forward a few little steps now, so I made the top and the bottom pieces for it, but I've also made the front and the back. So if you can see here, that's the first board we cut, and then I've got the back there, there's the front, that's the bottom, and then that's the top to tie it in there. So you can start to get a visualization of what I'm trying to build. Next step is to get the trusty pocket hole out and I think tie all them in together, because once they're fitted together, then I need to put some shelves inside. Once they're cut and joined onto that piece as well, then we got to build this side. So yeah, we've run into another problem. So my pocket hole jig, the minimum depth that it can drill into is apparently 18 mil. Well, I'm using 12 mil ply here, so yeah, spot the mistake there. I knew that, so don't think I did it without realizing, but I thought, because it's got measurements underneath the 18 mil, so I thought, you know, maybe it could do it. But I've got screws here the right length that won't go out the other side, but because of the just the angle it's drilling on, it's not exploding out the back of the board, it's exploding out the side. So that's no good. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get some L-shaped brackets to hold all this together, because I ain't going out and buying another pocket hole jig. But you can see there where I've screwed it. It's starting to come through the side there. So and that's the first one I drilled, and that was even worse. So yeah, I think I'm going to take them back out, go get some L-shaped brackets and some screws the right length for 12 mil ply, and I'll bracket it all, I think. So because the pocket hole situation ain't gonna work, I've just shot up to Screwfix and I bought me a few packs of brackets. So I've got them brackets there, and then I also got those ones as well. So I got two to choose from, and I got a pack of screws the right length so that it doesn't come out the other side of the 12 mil. The only thing is with these ones, if I use these ones, the screws fit alright in those holes, but for some reason they got slots in the other side, and the screws up, the screw head is too small for them ones. I don't know why they do that, but there we are. So might have to use a washer, a little washer just for them parts. So let's start assembling what I've cut and made so far. I didn't film me putting all those brackets in because, well, you would have lost the will to live with that, I think. So I got all them in, and I cut 2 extra boards as well, so they're my shelves. And I decided to use more of these smaller ones. Them larger ones were a bit of a pain in the ass, having to put washers around them ones. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, Jazz, that looks a heap of shit at the moment. And I will agree with you. But you will see, you will see. It all needs a sand because it's got all, you know, jagged edges, bits of splinters sticking out. it needs the other side putting on it. And then this side I will then drill and cut out 2 nice little holes there, and then that's your shelves coming from that way, from the bedside. This side then I'll use for, like I said, for whatever control panels, and I'll have to have some kind of brackets on there or whatever, so I can take that access panel out, which I've only just thought of right at this second, so I'll have to take that into consideration. And yeah, eventually it'll probably all get glued as well, because I don't really like using just these brackets. I would have preferred to have it all pocket holed, but it didn't work out that way. So again, there's probably carpenters laughing at me, but there we are. What's it fouling on it? Something's stopping it. It's the edge, this edge, top corner of the top plate. Yeah, it's hitting that. No worries, we'll just notch that out. It's only about a centimetre at the most I got to cut off. So we'll do that, and then try it again.
A few moments later.
Right, so I've done that. Now it should fit. It's still not fitting. What's it fitting? Ah, it's catching on this front edge. Right. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Hole cut out there, shelf number 1, hole cut out there, shelf number 2. For whatever control panels I have on this side, I'll probably have an access hatch by here. Cut it to look the same shape as these openings, and have it screwed on. Now we gotta enclose this end in, and it will come past there and cover up all that pillar there as well. Shall we take bets now on how many attempts it takes me to do this? How many boards I waste? Place your bets. I laid that, what I made there, onto this piece of 12mm ply, and I've drawn around the box part of it, and which is giving me this line here. All along this edge I measured from the end of it to, you know, the furthest points inwards, or at key points along that pillar, and then while it was laying on this board I've transferred those measurements onto there, so I know that, say for example, by there is 58.7. I need it to be 58.7 along here, so it's going to be longer than that line, and then that'll give me a rough measurement to cut to, and then we just wing it as normal. And that is what I'm kind of left with now. So I did use that thing there as best as I could. I could only use it in certain areas, so I got kind of the bottom done, and then the bit by the glass then joined all them up, and then took it so far and then just stepped it in, because that'll probably have to be rounded off, and then that's where it notches out around the roof pillar. So I'm going to cut that out and just see how far I'm off. Again, like the worktop, the edges are all going to be chamfered in 2 areas, so there and there, so it curves around the pillar. Right, this has taken absolutely ages. I'm pretty adamant it took longer than the worktop. But let's have a look ski. Oh, look at that! Now, it ain't quite as perfect as the worktop, because I'm missing a little corner down there. But that's only if you take a real good hard look at it. That's our left-hand side of it. Now we just gotta make that up with what I made earlier, and then cut the holes out. Oh, and how did everyone's bets go? How many boards do you reckon I did it? Well, those of you who said 2, like I did 2 for the worktop, you'd be wrong. Did it on my first go. I'm not lying, I swear on my life. That's why it's not quite perfect. There's a little corner missing there. But I can handle that. I can handle that for a first go. I'm happy. But yeah, oh my god, it took ages. And that's all because it's not just notching it around that shape. It's notching the back of this same board different to the front because it's sloped on all. Oh my god. Yeah. So the next step to kind of complete this shelf thing is obviously to put that side that I just made onto that, but it's impossible to get that on there because the way I've made it is with brackets, and I can't get to the inside to put the brackets on to get that face on. So obviously the next step to be able to do that is cut the holes in it, and then I'll gain access to doing more of these brackets on this side then. So I've kind of drawn roughly how I want them. This one is probably the best one, so I'll cut that one out, and then I'll probably use that as a template just to make sure they're kind of all even then. So I think the easiest way for me to do this is, because obviously I had to mark it out on the inside so I knew where the shelves are, because I couldn't just guess it and put it on the outside. So the easiest way to do this is kind of in the same way as doing the cutting the metal out for the van windows. So I'll drill small pilot holes at the end of all the straight areas. Yeah, one in each the middle of the bends, and then I should be able to join it up on the outside then with a pen, like so. So now I can just cut that out, probably make a bigger hole somewhere, and then stick the jigsaw through and cut that out. Right, I'm not an expert on the old jigsaw, and I don't think my jigsaw is very good anyway. Anyone got any tips on how to, when you're moving it along, to stop the bit that you hold in from going like that? So obviously then the blade is going, and then you end up cutting not dead straight. It's like either like that or like that. Is that, is that my jigsaw because it's rubbish, or is there a way of it not doing that? Tell me in the comments. Anyway, because of that, I didn't cut right to the line that I had marked out. So obviously we're left with that kind of thing there. Now I need to tidy it up with my trusty belt sander, just to get it right to the edge of the line and make it nice. Done a little bit more now. So I got that one all nice and cut out, and as you can see I've done that one as well. But then what I've also done is cut this one out. I cut that one out a little bit smaller, and then cut a piece of 9mm ply, the same size as these, to make a cover for it. So that they all match. That is then just screwed on. In the future, might put some riv nuts or something in it with some nice hex bolts. So there it is. So the top hole kind of follows the slanted top part of it, and then I made all the other ones the same then, so they're all uniform. Obviously, I think the tool that would have been the right tool for this job would have been a nice handheld router, and you could have done it, well, probably in one pass with some just minor hand sanding then. But so now we can turn this up the other way and get the front cover on. And there we have our finished shelf unit. So obviously this little panel here, it'll all get sanded off, so it's all rounded edges, so you ain't gonna cut yourself on it or get any splinters in it. They'll all get rounded. All these edges by here, they'll all get rounded later on. Whether I do it by hand or whether get my mate to router them off, we'll see. There's the front edge as well, both sides, that'll all get rounded off, because you don't want to cut yourself on that either. Hopefully I don't have to make any adjustments, but you never know when you make two pieces separately and then mate them together. yeah, something's stopping it from going in enough. Only had to make a few little alterations. I had to alter this bit at the top here and the ceiling part of it on the back edge, and then same actually for the bottom part of it. It was keeping it outwards, and the reason for that is because obviously I made up all this part first and got that fitting nice, and then did that part separately and got that fitting nice, but then when you put them together they don't quite marry up with each other because they're all trying to fight to line up with the van basically. Did the alterations and now it's fitting. I did actually have to sand down this edge as well a bit because up against the inner sill trims. You can put your mobile and stuff in there, or maybe some books. Same again there. And then this is the access panel for whatever control panels I put on that side. If I totally change my mind and I want that as a shelf as well, then I can do away with this cover and cut that opening out to the same hole as that, and I have a third shelf because I got the template for them, and because obviously that hole is cut smaller, then I can cut it bigger to accommodate one of them. So nice and tight. And then that's the view you get from this side, so adds more privacy to the bed area, stops anything from rolling off of the worktop. I have no idea what I'm going to cover this in yet. That side I'll do in cloth, and I'll probably put sponge underneath the cloth, the same as the inner trims there, just so it's a bit squidgy for you, because you don't want to turn over and smash your head on it. So I hope you liked me making my little shelf divider thing there. Yeah, if I was a carpenter I would have made it much quicker, I would have had better tools and I would have known exactly what I'm doing. But I'm not, so I think it's pretty good effort considering that. As always, any questions you got, pop them in the comments and I'll answer them at the end of the next video. Any tools I've used or any parts, equipment, whatever, they'll be in the description. Some of them are affiliate links, so if you click on them and make a purchase from it, then I get a couple of quid or something. It all helps the channel out. If I've helped you in any way with any of my videos, then consider buying me a coffee to say thank you. Link for that is in the description as well. What else? Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, to keep up with the progress of the van. Also check out the Instagram as well, because I upload the pictures on there too. And I'll see you in the next one.